Good day, everyone. I'm Teacher Colleen, your Gen Math teacher of the day. Today, let's tackle about inverse function. But first, let us define inverse function. Inverse function is the relation formed when the independent variable is exchanged with the dependent variable in a given function. To put it simply, the independent variable, which is the horizontal line or the x-axis, and the dependent variable, which is the vertical line or the y-axis, is interchanged, then that is an inverse function. Note, the inverse of a function may not always be a function. Let's move on to the steps on how we will achieve on finding the inverse of a function. First, replace f of x to y. Second, interchange x to y. Third, solve the new y from the equation in step 2. And fourth, replace the new y with f inverse of x if the inverse is function. Let us move on to our first example. F of x is equals to x minus 4. Now our first step is to replace f of x to y. So y is equals to x minus 4. Second, interchange x to y. So x is equals to y minus 4. Third, solve the new y from the equation in step 2. So what we'll do is to transpose y and x. So we'll have negative y is equals to negative x minus 4. Then we need to remove these negative signs by multiplying them by negative. So we'll multiply negative times negative y is positive y. Negative times negative x is equals to positive x. Negative times negative 4 is positive 4. Our last step is to replace the new y with f inverse of x if the inverse is function. So our f inverse of x is equals to x plus 4. To know if we got the correct answer, we'll have to do some checking. To check, we just copy the given function and replace the x to its inverse. So x plus 4 minus 4. So if we subtract 4 minus 4, we'll have 0. So that will leave us with x, which means our answer that f inverse of x is equals to x plus 4 is correct. Now, let us move on to our example number 2, which is f of x is equals to 4 minus 3x. Now, our first step is to replace f of x to y. So y is equals to 4 minus 3x. Then interchange x to y. So x is equals to 4 minus 3y. Third, solve the new y from the equation in step 2. So to do that, we transpose 4. So it will be x minus 4 is equals to negative 3y. Now, to get rid of negative 3, so we will be left alone with y. We divide both sides with negative 3. And we cancel it. Now, we will be left with y is equals to x minus 4 over negative 3. Now, this can still be simplified by dividing it. Now, we divide x divided by negative 3 is equals to negative x. Negative 4 divided by negative 3 is positive 4 and over 3. Now, our last step is to replace the new y with f inverse of x if the inverse is function. Now, f inverse of x is equals to negative x plus 4 over 3. To know if we got the correct answer, we do checking. So, by doing that, we copy the given function, so 4 minus 3, but we substitute x to its inverse, so it's negative x plus 4 over 3. Now, we bring down 4, and cancel negative 3 and 3. Now we are left with a negative. Now if we multiply negative times negative x, we are left with positive x. If we multiply negative times positive 4, we are left with negative 4. So if we subtract 4 minus 4, it would be 0. Now we will be left with x, which means that our answer, that f inverse of x is equals to negative x plus 4 over 3, is correct. Now, let us get on to our third example. F of x is equals to 2x minus 7. Now, let's remember our step, which is the first one, is to replace f of x to y. So, y is equals to 2x minus 7. And second, we interchange x to y. So, x is equals to 2y minus 7. And third, solve the new y from the equation in step 2. So, by doing that, we first transpose negative 7. So, we'll have x plus 7. And we'll be left with 2y. So to get rid of 2, so we'll be left alone with y. We divide both sides to 2 and cancel it. Now, we'll have y is equals to x plus 7 over 2. Then our last step is to replace the new y with f inverse of x. So f inverse of x is equals to x plus 7 over 2. Now to check if we got the correct answer or the correct function, we copy the given function but replace the given x to its inverse. So we copy 2 and we substitute x to its inverse. So x plus 7 over 2 minus 7. So we'll cancel 2. Now we'll have x plus 7 minus 7. So if you subtract 7 minus 7, we'll have 0. Now we'll be left alone with x, which means that our f inverse of x is equals to x plus 7 over 2 is correct. We are on our fourth example, so which is f of x is equals to 7x plus 5 over 2. Now let's not forget our steps. The first one is to replace f of x to y. So y is equals to 7x plus 5 over 2. Next, we interchange x to y. So we'll have x is equals to 7y plus 5 over 2. Third, we solve the new y from the equation in step 2. So, which means that on the other side, y is the only thing that must be left. So here we have 5 and 2. So what we're going to do first is to get rid of 2 by multiplying both sides to 2. So we cancel 2. Now we have 7y plus 5, and if 2 times x, we have 2x. Next, we still have y as 5. So what we'll do is we transpose 5, so we'll have 2x minus 5. Now, we are now at 7y only. So to get rid of 7, we just have to divide both sides by 7 and cancel. Now we have y is equals to 2x minus 5 over 7. So our last step is to replace the new y with f inverse of x. So f inverse of x is equals to 2x minus 5 over 7. And now we'll do checking to check if 2x minus 5 over 7 is an inverse function. So remember, we just have to copy the given function but substitute the x to its inverse. So 7, and we replace the x to its inverse. So 2x minus 5 over 7 plus 5 over 2. Now we cancel 7. We cancel the like terms. Now we have 2x minus 5 plus 5 over 2. Now if we compute, if negative 5 plus 5, we'll have 0. Now we are left with 2x over 2. So if we cancel 2, we'll have x. So our f inverse of x is equals to 2x minus 5 over 7 is correct. It's an inverse function. We are on our fifth and last example, which is f of x is equals to square root of x plus 2 minus 5. Now let's get back to our steps, which is the first one is to replace f of x to y. So y is equals to square root of x plus 2 minus 5. And second, we interchange x to y. So x is equals to square root of y plus 2 minus 5. Now third, we solve the new y from the equation in step 2. So by doing that, we transpose negative 5. So we'll have x plus 5 is equals to square root of y plus 2. Now, as you can see, we still have a square root left, or a radical sign, which is what we need to get rid. So by doing that, we need to take the square of both sides of the equation. So on the left side, we have x plus 5 squared, and on the right, we have square root of y plus 2 squared. Now, x plus 5 is multiplied by itself, so and is equals to y plus 2. Now, on this left side, this is a binomial, so we will use FOIL. So x times x is equals to x squared. X times 5 is equals to 5x. 5 times 5x is equals to 5x. 5 times 5 is 25. And so x squared plus 5x plus 5x plus 25 is equals to y plus 2. Now, we combine the like terms, which is 5x plus 5x is equals to 10x. Now, we have x squared plus 10x plus 25 is equals to y plus 2. So the last thing we need to do is to subtract both sides to negative 2. So we subtract both sides to 2. So cancel. So now we are left with y is equals to x plus 10x plus 25 minus 2 is 23. So our last step to replace the new y with f inverse of x is f inverse of x is equals to x squared plus 10x plus 23. Now, what I want you to do is you will be the one checking if our f inverse of x is equals to x squared plus 10x plus 23. Now remember that when we check, we will use the given function, but we will replace the given x to its inverse. Now the product should be x only. So let's see if this f inverse of x is equals to x squared plus 10x plus 23 is an inverse function. So that's all. Thank you.